My name is Shelly Devine. I'm general counsel at TriMet, and I've been here since 2008. I grew up here in Portland. So probably by the time I was about 12, I was taking the bus from Clackamas downtown to the new Portland Mall and going all over. I love a mission-driven organization that isn't focused just on the bottom line, and that's what brought me to TriMet. That's a different answer now than it would have been even a year ago. A year ago I knew, right, that women through a lot of advocacy and activism had gotten the vote here in the United States in 1920. But what I did not know until less than a year ago is that most women of color did not get the right to vote until the Voting Rights Act of 1965. 1965.
My name is Charmaine Stone and I'm a full-time bus operator. I found myself having some car problems and I ended up on transit, and I started watching the way the bus drivers would interact with the passengers and how they would maneuver the buses, and eventually I started asking them questions about driving, and I finally decided to apply and I got the job. Well, there's a quote from Michelle Obama that I like, and that is, always stay true to yourself and never let what someone says distract you from your goals.
My name is Christy Mayhew, and I'm a bus operator. I was born and raised in Portland, and I grew up in a family who worked for TriMet. I was having a hard time finding a position in my previous profession, and so my father, who was a TriMet bus operator, told me to look into TriMet, and I did. Amelia Earhart, because she pushed the limits that were normally or previously a male position, and she kind of showed that you can do anything you want to do as a woman. I actually named my daughter, my newborn, Amelia, after her.
My name is Mary Peralt. I am a transportation options representative. I grew up in the church, so I was going to be a pastor. That was what I grew up wanting to do. My husband is a bus operator. I think that's generally how I ended up working with TriMet, as an opportunity to build community. I'll focus in on the operators and the drivers that work so hard and care so much and do so much to make the lives of people that they transport easier and better and more safe and comfortable, and care so deeply about the work they're doing to make our world better.
Well, I never planned on being in transportation. I actually have 2 undergraduate degrees that I needed to pay off my student loans. So I ended up being a part-time bus driver. Growing up, the most influential woman obviously is my mother. She taught us that gender roles don't really matter. Like, to this day, she still changes the oil with my dad on the vehicles. My dad was in the military, so when he was away, she would cut the grass. And she's essentially taught us to be polite, but also to be ourselves. So, love that lady.
The most influential woman in my life growing up was my mother, who was a single mother, and my volleyball and softball coaches from Benson High School. They taught me hard work, dedication, how to be independent.
The most influential women in my life growing up definitely was my mom. She is the most loving, unconditionally loving person you could ever hope to meet.
My mother was definitely the most influential woman growing up, and she just instilled confidence, and she was very nurturing, and she made me believe that I could do pretty much anything that I set my mind to. And even if you fail, you know, just pick yourself up and just keep moving forward.